And lastly, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome our last speaker, Wanina Imanina, Youth Environment Community Facilitator at UNDP Malaysia, to share, to share a little bit more about localized climate action in Malaysia. Nina, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. And it's so delightful to see everyone here today. There's just so many of us who care about the environment. And thank you so much, Cici, as well. So I just like to share my screen, and I hope you guys can all see this. So I'll be talking today about localizing climate action in Malaysia. And basically, I want to start us with data again, because, just wanted to emphasize how important data is for us to actually know what is happening on ground. So basically what we did was we had a UNDP, UNICEF, and supported by Econites Malaysia, a national youth climate change survey, which found that 92% of young people think that climate change is a crisis. And 9 in 10 Malaysian youths have experienced environment and climate-related effects in the last 3 years, but most don't really know where to start. And that is where YEL comes in. So what is YEL? YEL stands for Youth Environment Living Labs, a partnership between UNDP Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei Darussalam and Malaysia and UNICEF Malaysia, supported by Amanah Lestari Alam. So what we aim to do is really to localize climate narratives so that the 92% of Malaysian youths who are interested in climate change know exactly how to respond and react, so that they have the knowledge and resource gaps to address the knowledge and resource gaps among local youth from diverse backgrounds, as well as strengthening the ecosystem of actors to support and hold the space for youths to engage as agents of change in environmental policy and action. So our objective and the way that we really strive to do this is through reconnecting with our cultural roots and the histories of people and places. So that means we want to engage with elderlies in the community. What are their tips? What have they grown up with? And what knowledge can they impart on the younger generation? And then to focus on today's stories as well as the future vision for more inclusive futures. And the way that we are attempting to do this is through the YEL calling card. So it's a play on words. We really like play on words, puns all around here. So it's through connecting, advocating, running, and documenting. So connecting is really through connecting environmental movers and advocates across the nation and region, tapping into national and subnational network, and then advocating jointly on issues of concern, including youth empowerment, climate and environmental futures, and running and documenting. So we find that, we want to run action learning projects with other youths and also to document all of these processes, including the wins, losses, and successes to inform and inspire the movement. So the way that we do this is through Exploration, Conservation, and Network Resource Hub. Exploration is a play on words. It's explore and action. So we provide seed funding for citizen science and action learning projects. And don't worry, you'll be able to see some examples later on. Next is conservation and vocation. So it's to enable youth who may not necessarily have a background or degree in environmental science, for example, but for them to also still be able to participate in green careers. And then finally, our Nexus Network Resource Hub, which is essentially to work with young people to rediscover local and traditional knowledge. And that is also our website, yel.my. So we've launched YEL this year, and now we are doing a few camps working with local youth and communities to impart on them what exactly does climate change looks like in Malaysia and in the region. It's not exactly polar bears anymore. It's happening right at our doorsteps. And so we also do a few storytelling workshops with schools and local councils. And we have our Academy Impact, which falls under the Exploration pillar, where we provide seed funding for all of our organizations who are doing great work in local community to address the issues in around themselves. And so we just came back from training of trainers on-site workshop where we went into the wetlands, we went into the mangroves, and also spoke to some local fishermen through our Academy Impact Project leaders. And I have here some videos that you can see. There's no sound, don't worry. On the left is the wetland in Malaysia, and they took us in and allowed us to go on a tour and understand how can we impart the climate knowledge that is in Malaysia right now and teach others about it. And on the right is exploring local climate knowledge that is from our elderlies, from our cultural heritage, and to learn from them and to be inspired from them. And it's the youths that are documenting these lessons. So that's all from me today. And as I mentioned, we have our YAL Network Resource Hub where we have all the environmental organizations, well, not all, we are still building it, but we have the environmental organizations that are in Malaysia located at yal.my. So if you scan the first QR code right there. And now we also recently launched our Instagram. It's still a little bit empty, but don't worry, we'll be updating all of our activities on there. So please do follow us. And I hope you guys get to learn, and if anything, please reach out via our Instagram. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to Nina for sharing more about YAL. Please feel free to scan the QR codes. And of course, as always, more information is available in the chat box below. Thank you once again to all of our speakers for sharing these amazing opportunities to youth. And we really hope that you were able to take advantage of them and check out some of the amazing stuff that young people are doing in Asia Pacific.